Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome to yet another week in our excellent summer of English 101. If we take a look at our calendar today, we have got our new project starting. Over the weekend, you submitted your final draft of Project 1, which was a compare and contrast essay about ideas in Murder on the Orient Express. And this week, we are going to be starting on our second project, which is a researched argument essay about a phenomenon that researchers are currently talking about called the trial by media phenomenon. How different social media profiles, how the ways people talk about a criminal investigation can either benefit a defendant or harm them based on their Sixth Amendment rights. And we're back with a guest appearance. This is my daughter, Rosie. She needed to have a little cuddle time. So we'll talk about the assignments for this week. Today you're going to be watching the Framed Justice PowerPoint in our Project 2 modules folder, and I'd like you to answer some questions on a really excellent article called How Trial by Media Can Undermine the Courtroom. You're going to be posting those in the discussion board, and then we're just going to jump right in, starting to look at the prompt and the case list. I have the case available for you in a couple different formats, so you can see links to Wikipedia pages and what might be important there. Sorry, bit of a disjointed video today. We're going to be working on the thesis statements on Wednesday, and then you're going to start drafting your essay. This second project has a much faster timeline than the first one. The first project, we were laying a lot of groundwork, we were reading novels, all of these things lengthen the process. Now that we've had some practice, we're on to second project, we can just dive in a little bit of a faster fashion. So that's why you're seeing a more accelerated timeline here. Also, summer quarter is accelerated from other quarters at CBC, so everything in this quarter just goes a little bit faster. So if you want to be aware of what kind of resources we have to help you through Project 2, just like with Project 1, they are all in our course shell if you go to the Modules tab. And scroll on down. We've already done diagnostics, we've already done Project 1. Go ahead and open your Project 2 Trial by Media folder. You'll see the Framed Justice PowerPoint available for you here. We've got that recorded lecture, a nice link for you here. And then our topics ideas list and some commentary on logical fallacies, all of which are going to be important for this project. Then you'll see we've got our supporting materials, just like with our first project, where I provided an article about revenge and justice and their definitions, things that might be very helpful to you in the project. This article, How Trial by Media Can Undermine the Courtroom, is another one I highly recommend you use as one of your sources for this essay. So read it, familiarize yourself with it. It's going to be something that you're going to find very beneficial when you write this essay. So please make sure to read it, understand it, answer those discussion questions. And if you don't understand it, let me know, because the ideas are pretty crucial to writing this essay. I also have some other helpful things for you. If you're looking at bias in juvenile sentencing, this article is really interesting. The Innocence Project is a charity group of people who go in and look at people who have been convicted to make sure that their Sixth Amendment rights held up, that their trial was fair, and that they are indeed guilty of the crime that they were committed of, and that there wasn't any bias taking place. And so the Innocence Project has actually found a lot of innocent people who spent time in jail because they were wrongly convicted. So lots of interesting resources here. Pre-trial publicity, limited effect on the right to a fair trial. If you're arguing about the Sixth Amendment and saying, hey, it's not really ever violated by people swaying a jury before the trial, this is a great article for you. If you're saying their constitutional rights aren't holding up, another great article. So we've got a really good balanced perspective on this, both sides being argued, so that you can come to your own conclusions based on what experts are claiming. So lots of great information here. As we get into the essay itself, you'll see that we've got another recorded lecture on how to do research, the outline, the thesis worksheet, all of that good stuff. I've got your prompt and your outline thesis worksheet, my grading rubric, and then a really helpful link when you're using quotes. And because this is an argumentative research essay, you will be using quite a few quotes to back up your ideas to make you more persuasive. This link is for signal phrases, so you're not always saying, John Doe said, blah, 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 blah. You don't want to say the word said 50 million times in the essay, right? It just gets terribly redundant. So this wonderful link here will give you a lot of options for how to lead into those quotes. So really helpful stuff there. As I'm seeing your first project essays come in, I do want to call our attention once again to the MLA format and grammar section in the folders here. I do have a sample MLA formatted paper for you. I have an automatic citation generator that will help you with your MLA formatted citations in the Works Cited page. I have a link for the Al Purdue MLA Style Guide, which tells you how to structure your paper and how to do your in-text citations as well as your Works Cited page. And then here's a link specifically for in-text citations. So if on your Project 1 essays, if you get a comment on MLA format, please go back to these resources. They will help you a lot as you get into Project 2. And then if you want to brush up on some grammar, common errors, I've got some helpful links here if any of those things are pointed out in your feedback. Traditionally, I take about 10 business days to turn back full essays because I give you feedback in 3 different ways. You are going to be getting feedback embedded in your essay, so line by line feedback with little bubble comments. You're going to get feedback as an overall global gradebook comment that talks about the big ideas in your essay. And then you're also going to get rubric feedback. So I will grade through the rubric and then I will give you comments on each category saying how your points were either earned or lost in that specific area. So you get lots of feedback to work with, which is wonderful and helpful, but it does take a little bit of time for me to do that on every essay. So I am hoping to have a faster turnaround this time. I'm shooting to have them done by this coming weekend. So fingers crossed, if the kids cooperate, we should be getting them back before that 10-day mark. But 10 days at the latest is when those come back for you. So that gives you a timeline to figure out where we're headed. We've got all of our resources here in Project 2. So check out those videos, read through the articles, do the discussion boards, reach out with any questions. I'm looking forward to seeing how all of this comes together. Have a great day, guys. Stay safe and healthy out there, and hopefully stay cool in all of this very warm weather we've got coming.